Greetings in the name of our soon-coming King Jesus Christ, and welcome to this episode. I am Marco Kiroglu. When will the rapture happen precisely? Will it be before the tribulation, in the middle of the tribulation, or at the end of the tribulation? Another way of asking the same question is, will the believers of Jesus Christ go through the tribulation, or will they be raptured before the tribulation? In connection to that, yet another question is, what about the believers of Jesus Christ who do not believe in the rapture? Will they be raptured or will they be left behind? Now, these three questions are somewhat connected, somewhat interlinked, so I will try to answer all these three. In terms of the timing of the rapture, although, as far as I'm concerned, the Bible is crystal clear, it seems that there have been differing opinions among the Bible believers for as long as the gospel is on earth. And there have been many, countless, heated debates and arguments in terms of will the rapture be before the tribulation or after the tribulation. Believers of different opinions use various set of scriptures from the Bible to justify their point of view. But today I will try to show you the reason why I believe rapture before tribulation. There are definitely many verses in the Bible, from the writings of Jesus, sayings of Jesus Christ, to the writings of Apostle Paul, crystal clear teachings that show that rapture happened before tribulation. But that is not necessarily the only reason why I believe in rapture before tribulation. Now I want to take you back to many years ago when I first became a believer, and I was in the Bible study program, and I was exposed to different perspectives regarding the timing of the rapture. And I remember at that day I asked God very specifically, which one of these three perspectives is the accurate one, and which one of them shall I believe? And immediately at that moment, I heard the Holy Spirit speaking back to me and saying, it shall happen to you according to your belief. Now, maybe you remember this phrase from somewhere else in the Bible. In fact, this phrase has been used at the least 2 times by Jesus himself. In Matthew chapter 8 verse 13, Jesus said to the centurion, "Go your way, and as ye have believed, so let it be done for you." And his servant was healed at that same hour. That was one incident where Jesus used the same principle. It shall happen to you as you believe. If you believe that you're going to be healed, you're going to be healed. Or in this case, if you believe that your servant will be healed, it shall happen exactly as you believe. And the man believed, and the servant was healed at that hour. Later on, Jesus used exactly the same phrase in a different context though. Matthew chapter 9, verse 29, where Jesus said, "According to your faith, let it be to you." Verse 30 says, "And their eyes were opened." There Jesus was opening the eyes of the blind. And he used the same principle, same phrase. It shall happen to you according to your belief. Now that was the reason on that day I believe the Holy Spirit told me that it shall happen, gave me the answer that it shall happen to me according to my belief. Remember, I was confronted by different teachings, different understandings of the timing of rapture among Christians as a very young Bible student. And when I asked the Holy Spirit, which one shall I believe? Which one is the right one? And God, Holy Spirit told me, it shall happen to me according to my belief. And then at that moment, immediately I said to God, I remember, Lord, I don't want to go through the tribulation. I believe in pre-tribulation rapture as a choice. And that belief, is that now a groundless belief? Has it got no biblical grounding? On the contrary, as far as I'm concerned, pre-tribulation rapture theory is the most biblical of all teachings or options in terms of the timing of the rapture. And that is supporting my belief. My belief in the pre-tribulation rapture is firmly rooted on the biblical teaching, but it is also a choice. Now, I know one of the characteristics of our God is that He is a God who respects our free choices. He's a God who respects freedom. In fact, He gave us freedom. He enabled us to make choices without any pressure or compulsion. Now, God doesn't force you to believe in anything. If you're forced to believe in anything, it's not anymore a belief. It's enforced behavior. Belief is what you choose when you have all the options available to you. Now, in this case, in the timing of the rapture, you have different options available. You can choose to believe that the rapture will happen in the middle of the tribulation, or you can choose to believe it will happen at the end of the tribulation, or you can even choose that rapture will never happen. In my case, I believe it will happen, and it will happen before the tribulation, and my belief is firmly rooted in the teaching of the Bible. Now, coming back to the other question in relation to this issue, what will happen to those Christians who do not believe that the rapture will happen, or who believe that rapture will happen in the middle of the tribulation? You know, as I said, our God respects our freedom. If you choose to believe that rapture will happen in the middle of tribulation, and you will go through some of the tribulation, or at the end of the tribulation, and you will go through all of the tribulation, God is not going to take you out of this world kicking and screaming. You want to stay here? Help yourself. Stay here. If you want to go through the tribulation, it's your choice. Help yourself. Feel yourself at home. Go through the tribulation. If you don't believe in the rapture, and if you believe that that rapture will never happen and Jesus will not take you out of this world as part of His bride, well, then so be it. Stay here. Enjoy all the drama. But if you believe that the rapture will happen, and it will happen before the tribulation, and Jesus will come at the sound of the great trumpet, and in the blinking of an eye, all the true believers of Jesus Christ, or the bride, shall I rather say, all the bride of Jesus Christ, the worthy ones, out of 10, 5 was worthy, remember? If you believe you are one of them, and Jesus will come and take you, and if you're waiting for that moment, it will happen so. In the blinking of an eye, at the blast of the last trumpet, Jesus will descend from heaven to the clouds, and He will snatch His bride out of this world, and we will meet with Him on the clouds, and instantly our fragile earthly bodies will be transformed into glorified heavenly bodies. And from there onwards, we will always be with Jesus as His bride. You see, your faith determines your destiny. Your faith determines your future. What you believe is going to be what you get is what you believe. What you believe is what you will get. So, as for me, I believe in rapture before tribulation, and I believe Jesus will come exactly as He promised in John chapter 14, verses 1 to 3. He will come as the bride to fetch as the bridegroom to fetch His bride from this world. And He will take us to the mansions He has been preparing for us in His Father's house. We will have a 7 years long wedding ceremony and reward-giving ceremony while the world is going through tribulation. But then, a careful study of the Bible prophecy reveals that in the first half of the 7-year tribulation, there are many people still who will come to believe in Jesus. And most of them will become believers directly as a result of the ministry of the 144,000 Jews, and also 2 prophets who will be killed and resurrected and then ascended to heaven. So, in the middle of that, we see in the first half of the 7-year tribulation, there will be many believers. Some Bible prophecy experts even suggest that some of the believers of Jesus who did not believe in rapture will also be left behind. And they will also play their role in sharing the gospel with others. Now, then you may ask, if the rapture is before the tribulation, how come some believers will be left behind? Well, it's their choice. They can choose to be raptured before the 7-year tribulation, or they can choose to say, nope, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm going to stay here and experience the tribulation. Well, help yourself. Stay behind. And God can still use them. In spite of their choice to stay here, that doesn't mean they turned against God. But I believe God will even use their choice to stay here for God's glory and salvation of as many souls as possible. So, will there be believers on earth after the rapture? I believe there will be some believers on earth after the rapture. Well, we know as a fact that 144,000 Jews and the 2 prophets will definitely be here. And as a result of their ministry and their presence and ministry on earth, there will be many people who will be coming to faith. And I also believe some believers will, maybe, shall I say, some today's Christians will also remain behind by their choice. And they will also then later on be added onto the bride by being killed by the Antichrist on earth because of their faith in Jesus. It's up to you. You can choose which one you want. As for me and my house, we choose to believe in rapture before tribulation, and we believe Jesus is coming soon. It's just around the corner. All the signs and symptoms of the last days on earth are happening in front of our eyes. Having said that, let me just clarify. There are absolutely no signs that needs to take place before the rapture. Rapture can happen any moment. But there are many signs that needs to take place before the second coming of Jesus Christ. And now what we are seeing today is many of those signs pertaining to tribulation and second coming of Jesus Christ. Many of those signs are being fulfilled. That means the time for rapture is just any moment now. So, I am keeping my eyes on the sky and waiting for my Jesus to return. In the meantime, I'm keeping my hands and my feet and my mouth very busy proclaiming the gospel of Jesus Christ as much as I can. Sharing the gospel with people as much as I can, blessing the people around me, and proclaiming God's grace and favor to the people around me as much as I can. Because I am still on earth as a salt and light of Jesus Christ, and we still have a ministry to carry on with. So, keep your eyes on Jesus and keep your hands busy in the work of Jesus Christ. Please, consider supporting this ministry with your prayers and with your donations. This ministry needs to go on, and we have a lot of bills to pay. Our only source of income is donations and support we receive from you people. So please consider prayerfully supporting us with your donations. To make donations, simply go to www.countdowntochrist.com/donate. Thank you very much for watching this video and praying for our ministry and supporting us. God bless you and goodbye.